Hello y'all, Brett from Swelford Homestead. Out here trying to get caught up on some of this garden work. It's really rained. It rained over 2 inches Saturday. This is Monday and you can still see it's kind of muddy. Now I pruned some tomato plants yesterday, made a short about it. You can check that out. It's just a little silly short. I got my first row pruned and tied. This is succession planting. Second row is not hardly tall enough to tie yet, but got the fence bar up. They ain't hardly ready to prune, and though they could stand a little, I'm gonna wait a little longer. Of course, I got my cucumbers in between. I'm trying to block some of the heat and the sun off cucumbers. That way they don't get just a limited amount here. It's not to do better in the dead of summer when they don't get several hours of the hot sun. They just get a little bit of it. Third row of tomatoes, they're actually pretty well catching up with the other ones. And the fourth row, which is pretty close. Both being succession planting, but these last 3 rows is really close to one another. Of course, it's a mix of different tomatoes. What we're doing today is one where I'm tilling and getting rid of some of the grass. But them 2 inches of rain, the grass popped up. It seemed like overnight there was grass everywhere. It just excites the grass for it to rain. I've tilled, now I'm on side dress, and that's the reason for this video. I decided I'd do a little side dressing. Now, I can't do this and hold the camera, and I don't have nobody to hold the camera, but I'm going to explain it anyway, and then we're going to do it, and I'll turn the camera back on. What I'm planning on doing here, since I've already got my drip line down, even though these ain't ready for the fence, I'm probably going to hit these anyway. I'm missing a tomato plant. Storm's kind of rough on that one, and the other one just gone. Anyway, I'm going to stroll a little fertilizer down the edge here. I'm going to take the shovel and I'm going to roll a little dirt over on these tomato plants. That way the fertilizer is in between the dirt that hadn't been tilled and the dirt that has been tilled. And the drip line will be in there with it. That way it'll hydrate it. It will hopefully melt it and dissolve it, and plants can use it. Is the plan anyway. This is the normal way I do things. You don't have to get the fertilizer right up under the plant. If you get it on the plant or down in the crack or crevice of the plant, you could burn it. So I've got a series of fertilizer I'm going to use. I'll have to walk over to it. And the bucket is triple 15, a balanced fertilizer. I got some triple super phosphate. That is calcium nitrate. I don't put a whole lot, but for the calcium side of things. I got the Epsom salt for magnesium. This is my general mix I put on them. Of course, I'll put a little more fertilizer than I will, no, the triple 15 more than I will this calcium nitrate. Calcium nitrate, things that make the plants really tall, makes them grow tall plants. We want fruit. That's where we're doing the super phosphate and the magnesium. Now let me spread this. I'll turn the camera back on and I'll show you what I've done, and we'll roll the dirt with a shovel. Alrighty. I got the fertilizer out. Yeah, I done the peppers while I was doing the tomatoes. I done this row because it's easier for me to shoot it with the camera. You can see I sprinkled it along. No, I didn't take no accurate measurements. I can't tell you exact amounts, but you can see there's enough that be spotted. A couple handfuls of each one, probably 3 or 4 handfuls down through here. I try to drop a little bit at every plant. And what I'm going to do is take the shovel, roll the dirt over, push it up around the plant, and try to build the plant heel up. At the same time, I've got to pull my drip line over. So now I can't hold the camera and do this, but when I get it buried, I'll show it to you. We're just simply going to take the dirt that has the fertilizer and push it over to the tomatoes. Help bury the plants. And we're going to bury them a little more. If there's limbs in the way, I'll just have to break them off. This gives them a really good start before they ever start producing tomatoes. Of course, with the drip line, I can add liquid fertilizer to them and boost them along as they grow. I should be able to keep tomatoes probably to August or September. It gets so hot in August and September, it's hard to get any production then. But by August, it'll probably be really hot unless things change this year. That's what we're hoping for. I've got plans to run some more tomato plants. I just ain't got them planted yet. It's getting close to time to succession plant. Probably about end of June, somewhere in July. Transplant them in somewhere in that area. That way they'll be maturing. I can keep the water to them. Hopefully we can take tomatoes all the way to Christmas. We do some years. Well, let me get this buried. Well, these are ready for ground cover. I don't know if I mentioned it or not. I did the peppers because peppers like the similar fertilizer mix. I did it for my peppers and my tomatoes. These tomatoes and peppers was planted with basically the same mix under the bottom. Now, some of these peppers hadn't had the same mix, some of them have. These did, these tomatoes did. Now I've got it healed. My drip line's kind of buried, it ain't completely, but it's down enough when it fills up with water, it'll settle in and it won't move. That's the main part. I don't want it buried really deep because I've got to get it back out of the ground this fall. Haven't got it hooked up yet, but we're close. That is ready for a little touch up and ground cover put over it. Once I put the ground cover over it, we don't worry about fertilizer anymore. Regular fertilizer, we use liquid because most of it's going to be, like I said, covered. You can put a little around them if you wanted to, but it's kind of hard to get it down around them, and a lot of it's going to wash away if you don't get it in under the material. This row is ready. I just got 3 more to do today. I got another row to put out eventually, but thought I'd invite you along, let you see what I do. Like my video, subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Go have a good day.